I was gonna talk about other sports with this, but I'm just gonna talk about wrestling. For one, it's just something that I've actually done. It's something that I know and have struggled with in the past. It just presents you with something hard and difficult enough to change you. And yes, you do need to change. You do need to change to achieve your goals. If you ever wonder to yourself, oh, why can't I do this? Why can't I do that? Or if you're ever thinking to yourself, oh, this will come and this and that. Yes, it will, but to a lot of thought, you should think. If it hasn't happened for you yet, if it hasn't happened for you now, you are not who you need to be to reach it. And so you need to endure something that puts you in the proper space to change, to reach it. Something hard and difficult. Something that's hard and difficult enough at least to mature you, to change you, to set you on a rite of passage. And that for me, that was many things. But before everything, and I thought it was working out, but before everything, it was wrestling. So I'll tell you how it started. I had this gym class, and this is where I met my coach for wrestling. I had this gym class in high school, and my coach this guy used to hunt me down. I don't know what it was. Maybe he could tell I was making physical progress because I was getting into working out at this time, but I would just love gym. Like, you ever been that kid that just sits around on the side and doesn't really like gym? Once I started working out and mastering myself in a sense, I started to really love gym. And I started to realize just how easily I stuck out from everyone else. Strangely, but I just went from that kid who was just so introverted, such a loner, so quiet, not really wanting any type of spotlight, to really loving sticking out, to really exerting myself at least, and anything I could do that showed my talent, which was physical, readiness since I work out. And that was gym at that time. And I don't remember the game we were playing at all. It was some type of British volleyball thing where you throw the ball against the ground and it bounces up. But anyway, I was just on fire. It was me and a couple of other guys that were there that were generally kids who worked out. And you could tell, you stuck out above people so easily just doing that little bit extra that no one does. Most kids at my age, at least at that time, didn't work out unless they were on some type of team. Only people I knew that were fit around that age group were the basketball players. And even then, they weren't fit as in the pinnacle of health. They were just fit as in, I kind of, don't eat trash as much as I used to. And I run around the court all day. So I got cardio and abs. That was fit to me. And around this time, when this coach noticed me, I was definitely sticking out in that way, where I was just above average and I was just really explosive and really exerting myself. And he used to hunt me down after every gym class, after every PE, and tell me, hey, you were great out there, man. You're looking nice, and etc. I could see you make a lot of progress. You seem like you're really into this. You should join the school wrestling team. Join the school wrestling team. I used to think to myself, wrestling? Because I used to watch wrestling, but little did I know this wasn't even the wrestling he was talking about. I had to find out the hard way. Nonetheless, though, even despite me thinking it was WWE or something, I told myself, oh, no, huh? I'm already going through school. I'm already struggling with who knows what. Just any excuse I could think to get out of the situation. This gigantic man just telling me, yeah, you should come wrestle, man. I'm telling you, you would do good. I would do good. Me? No. So clearly there was some limiting beliefs, but I just told him no. And believe it or not, he came to me every single day for the entire school year. Not just for that year. This is going to sound crazy, and it's going to be me admitting something in humiliation, but he came to me for the entire school year, and then the next year he came to me, and I said no. And then he stopped. And this is about, I would say, I was 2 years into sort of working out at home, getting into, fitness, getting in shape, and bettering my lungs. I used to have a lot of asthma issues, but I kind of worked out of it in a sense. And I just finally, for once, became someone that I physically could respect. I mastered my mind in ways I've never thought I could master. I changed my body in ways that I didn't think you could change it. I used to think that I was just born the way I was. I used to wish to the stars for a miracle. I thought that was the only way you could actually change anything. So when I got into working out and all the things I did, it really showed me that with my mind, I can change as much as I want if I put effort into it. And I remember just thinking to myself upon ending my second year of high school, you know, his words echoing in my head, you know, you'd be really good at it, or you should try this. Just, like, I don't really care for wrestling. I don't care for any sport per se, but I don't want to end this point of my life or go through life period just eking my way through it, just going by, never accomplishing anything, never making my mother proud in some way or making myself proud in some way, a challenge that I've never faced. If I am the man who I think I am, if I am the man who thinks that I can do something great in my life, I should seek something great too. And in my own little way, that was it. So upon my junior year of high school, 2 years down the road after this guy asked me for a year and a half, I showed up. I told him when are tryouts and this and that. And he didn't remember at first, which is ironic. He told me when tryouts were, and I showed up to tryouts. And then upon seeing me in this uniform, which everyone was dressing the same, it was just a white t-shirt and shorts. I guess it was sort of like militaristic in a sense. I can see why they do that, because there's no individuality. So there's no ego. That's what they're trying to get rid of, is ego. Everyone's just going through this together. And when your ego's aside and you go through a challenge with people, you know, it really shows who sticks out. Not in the ways of, you know, personality is not, but in the ways of who's willing to, you know, put in effort and who's willing to grind. What came next would only be a grind. And I just remember just thinking to myself, wow, you know, this is a lot of work. We're running for like an hour. I've never run an hour in my life. First of all, he said 10 minutes, then he changed to 30, then it was an hour. And then all this other things I did during tryouts, and trial after trial, elimination after elimination, people getting knocked out of tryouts. I would continue to just go through, and I used to think to myself, wow, like I'm doing good. Like I feel in shape. Like he's looking at me. Like I can tell there's something he always liked was that fire. That fire. And maybe I had the benefit of having worked out beforehand, right? So if you do wrestling or if you do a sport, maybe you won't have that benefit if you do nothing already. So I definitely recommend working out. But whether we do, whether we don't, this thing will change you. Because despite my experience in physical fitness, my 2 years of whatever I thought I was doing at home, I was not prepared for this. And I barely, in my head, made it through tryouts. And then after making it through tryouts and becoming this specimen who can run for at least an hour one day. One day I ran an hour. And flip tires for 30 minutes and run through ladders and go up the stairs for 30 minutes and down. Stairs are a fucking nightmare. And down. I curse a lot during videos too, I don't know why. Once we actually got to the wrestling after trying out, it was like a whole other demon. The cardio wasn't there, nothing was there, despite a month of tryouts and training every single day after school. Imagine that. So this was that hard and difficult thing. I don't know how other sports are, but this, till this day, was that hard and difficult thing for me. And scooting past getting good at wrestling and getting good at enduring pain was my first win. And I'll tell you right now, your first win over someone in a physical endeavor, it's like nothing else. It's better than any type of game you've played, any type of mental thing. It's better than that anime character you like. You're that character. When you have your hand raised, right? And you watch, like, just like in an anime or a TV show, when you watch these characters go through these things and they go through these victories and you're cheering them on, or you're watching some sport and you're cheering them on your TV, you're, in a way, you're living through them. You're sort of idolizing them. Even if you say you're not, you kind of are, because you yourself, you seek that. You seek that victory. You seek that feeling. It looks so great. It's been so advertised to you. You seek that feeling. And this was that moment where it wasn't just me watching it. I was in it and I did it. So that first victory on the mat, from that point forward, changed me. There's nothing like it. I can tell you right now. And there's no way I can really explain it if you didn't do it yourself. So that's one more reason to do it yourself, is to at least experience that feeling. I don't care if you join a team and then quit. I don't care if you join a basketball team and win a basketball game and quit. But wrestling, you should definitely try that and win a match and tell me how you feel. taught me how much different life feels, and there was nothing like it. And from that point forward, I really wanted that feeling again. And in a sense, I was definitely scared of losing eventually, which I would, but I kept winning somehow. I won my second match, I won my third match, I won my fourth match, I won my sixth match, I won my seventh match, just on and on and on throughout the whole school year. And I didn't realize it from when I started to now, to the present moment of me and these victories, but I was changing with each practice, with each victory, with, each change. With wrestling, it's not just the physical aspect of it. You have to be with diet now. Your mental has to be good. You have to manage social life. You're still in school, so it's homework. All of these things come together, and it's so difficult. But all these things come together, and you just get good at managing them, right? So I'm on this tirade. I'm doing pretty good, and then I experienced my first loss. I don't remember what number match it was, but it was my first loss. And it wasn't even a loss that I lost because of skill or talent or whatever. It was literally just, I just wasn't in it that day. Mentally, I was not there. There was so much drama going on with the team and etc. Long story. But I lost, and it was quick. And in wrestling, it's not like how you see on TV. In real wrestling, it's one hit on the mat and it's over. Your minute your shoulder blades touch the mat, it's done. So my shoulder blades touched the mat, and that ref slapped that mat, and my soul was left on that mat. The best way I can explain it. And you know how like in your shows or whatever, you're watching your character mourn in like a death or something, or your character like lose a battle for the first time, and you're just sort of like, it can't be Naruto, no way, he can't lose. Or if you ever, like how Jamie Noibo, I was watching that during the time back then, a boxing anime. I remember when he lost his first match, or boxing, whatever you call it, and he was devastated. And I remember watching that, and it taught me how to deal with my loss in a sense. Oddly enough, this episode came around the same time I lost too, so who knows? But I just remember being destroyed. And from that point forward, it taught me this is what loss feels like. This is what it feels like to actually lose against another man. You felt what winning is like, how superb it feels, how grandiose. This is what losing feels like. And either you're gonna suck it up, right? With your angst and your depression, everything that's built up inside you now, and that fear you have of losing again, mind you, just like life. That fear you have of losing again, that fear you have of striking out again, whether you're approaching a girl and it doesn't go well, so I don't really want to do it this time. And you just decide not to approach girls anymore, or anything. You could quite easily become a quitter. This was that moment for me, and I said, okay, I lost. I didn't deserve to lose. This is unfair, but I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna come to practice, and that day must have been serious, because when I come to practice, I'm gonna go extra hard. I'm gonna really try and pick it up. I'm not gonna let things distract me as much. And man, continuing throughout the year, I continued to win only. I continued to only win. And I ended off that year a winner. And I ended off that year with all these lessons they taught me. All this wrestling, all this stuff that wrestling taught me. And remember, I was saying the coach had sticks in my head even now, is after wrestling, everything else is easy. And I remember thinking at the time when he said it, what does he mean after wrestling? I think it's easy. Okay, I guess. But it was when I was done, and then I got to have that point of normal life again, without being in a routine, and with all these changes I had, and this just character development I had, and talking to people, and I'm still into girls, so getting into girls and talking to girls, just seeing how different and much I stood out, and seeing how everything sort of felt manageable. Everything. And of course it was manageable. I went through the school year with this, with 3 hours of practice, with every single day besides one day, which is Sunday. And then sometimes on that Sunday we're doing tournaments, so I gotta sleep, and I'm not a good sleeper. I'm an insomniac, so I'm wrestling tired. I'm dieting tired. I don't know how to diet. No one in my family knew how to diet, so I'm figuring out dieting. I'm figuring out wrestling. I'm figuring out what I'm gonna do. Everyone's on the team is talking about their next opponent. They're looking online about who they're going to face. I'm just trying to get on my head about losing again. Managing all of that. So when you leave that and you just go to life after that challenge you've given yourself, after you've had that, this, like I said, this rite of passage, this thing that matured you, it's manageable. For once in your life, you sort of feel in control. It's not like I was done with school or anything. I still had another year to go. But it was beyond manageable. It felt easy. Interactions felt easy. Nothing was as difficult. Even my workouts after that, because I got to lift again, you know. I don't have to worry about wrestling after school because it's summertime and etc. So I finally get to lift and just lift. And I remember my lifting got so much better. Working out got so much better. My intensity was above average. Kids around my neighborhood started to come around and watch me work out because they wanted to learn. Some of them being older than me, but they just watched because that's how much I stuck out to them. Now, one, my body was changing from that whole year of wrestling and physical fitness and training. But another was just my ethic and how I seemed to drive myself in my routine. You could always see me outside my house at this specific time, jumping rope. And you know what I was doing in season to make weight? You know, to lose weight and to manage myself? Jumping rope on my lunch breaks. Nothing changed. So he was right. And you know why he was right? It wasn't that everything else was easy now. It was that life may be hard or life may be how it is, but I'm stronger now. I'm making it easier. So keep that in mind. Try sport, try wrestling. Trust me. Try anything. Even if you're not in high school, go to a fight gym. Just trust me, get involved. There's nothing, everything becomes easier once you can manage that into your life. Trust me. Everything's a bit easier after you take a punch to the face. Or after you get slammed from 5 feet up and you manage that and you get used to that. Trust me. All right? So go out, get a sport, get a challenge, find this thing that changes you, that because you need this goal, you have these goals in your head. But trust me, if you're not getting there, it's because you yourself don't exactly have the answer or you yourself are not ready yet. So one thing we can do when we don't have the answers is to go see people that do. And if we're not ready yet, one thing we can do is do whatever we can to become ready, to mature ourselves and to grow. And while you do that, impress yourself. Later.